Would you say to the thousands of mothers that have lost children, or the thousands of children that have lost parents? What do you say to them? Really, the more I think about Gaza, the more it just tears my heart apart. My background is in peripheral nerve surgery, so I operate on the nerves in the body. I have a background, of course, in orthopedics, but I was doing vascular surgery as well. I performed close to 1,200 procedures by myself. If you include the surgeries performed by my colleagues at Fajr as well, it's probably in the order of close to 2,000. The hospital environment is really catastrophic. What happened there is unspeakable. How there were 4 or 5 procedures or surgeries happening in the same operating room at the same time. How corridors had hundreds of injured patients who had to have their wounds dressed and changed. And when I say wounds, I mean you're talking about chunks of tissue missing from their body parts, changed in the corridors without anesthesia. How people died on the wards and they weren't able to bury them for 3 days until the Israelis would allow the nurses to carry them and then dig them a grave in the courtyards and bury them there. It's untold suffering. I mean, I remember having all the time a problem with not having enough gauze. You know, there were times where I had to, the same gauze I would use for the surgery, I would wring it from blood and reuse it, and again and again and again. You're seeing war crimes. You're seeing children burned alive. I remember the case of a young female, her chest was open and she was bleeding heavily. She was minutes from death. And I was trying to surgically stop the bleeding. It was very up in the thoracic cavity, a very dark corner. And I just remember saying to myself, Ya Allah, please don't let this woman die. And I just said I made a prayer to Allah. I said, please don't let this woman die in my hands. But yeah, I stopped the bleeding, alhamdulillah. And we saved her life. The doctor, a pediatrician, she lost 9 of her 10 children. And her husband is fighting for his life. Dr Adnan Bursh, he was one of the leading orthopedic surgeons in Gaza. And they captured him. And they imprisoned him. And they killed him whilst he was in detention. Do you know how? They raped him with batons. This is a doctor. What world are we living in? I often ask the question, where are the Muslim armies? Where are the Arab armies? What are these armies doing? You're watching a slaughter. You're watching the Israeli army go in, kill, and do all the things I mentioned. When I came out of Gaza, I had left when the war had stopped, when there was a ceasefire in place, when there was a glimmer of hope that we'd be able to help the rebuild. We were hopeful. Despite the severe losses, despite all the hundreds of thousands injured, I said I have to go back. You know, I was thinking about how maybe I can build my career again, get my life back on track, you know, because I left everything to go and help in Gaza. But then this started and I realized I can't even do that. I have to go back. And so I applied and I was rejected. And then I got the WHO to lobby on my behalf. I tried to ask the British consulate to intervene and they refused. And I've been going around asking other Arab nations to intervene. As I said before, I got rejected and I got rejected again. And then I got intelligence to tell me that if I go back to Gaza, that they would try to kill me, that they would directly attack. And that's probably why the British don't want me in, because you can imagine I would create a bit of a problem for them. I mean, what do you even say? These people have been let down at every corner, every turn, slaughtered in their homeland, starved. deprived of dignity? What does it take to make the world act